Hello and welcome to my channel. For those of you that have been following the channel for a long time, what I used to post primarily and what is on the channel is figure reviews, figure unboxings, Dragon Ball related content. That's what my channel was always focused on. My life has moved in a considerably different direction in the last couple of years, and I just wanted to share the reason for that. I wanted to share my testimony and how I came to Jesus. It's been something I've wanted to share for quite some time. I've tried to film this video multiple times in probably the last 6 to 12 months. But here we are. So I'm going to try and keep this as brief but as well explained as possible. So, a little over 2 years ago, it was the last Sunday of August 2023. So, just a little over 2 years ago. That was the day, that was my come to Jesus moment. That was the day I had an encounter with Christ, with God, and it changed everything in my life, my perspective of the world. My life has been nothing but a constant improvement since then. And as I continue to strengthen and dive deeper into my walk with Jesus and dive deeper into my faith, the better life has become. And I just felt that it was time to share this testimony, even if it just helped one person. It was time to share it. So that was the day, the last Sunday of August 23. That was the day that I came to Christ. But leading up to it, about 3 or 4 weeks prior, I started to I was working a job that I was pretty miserable in, working night shifts. I wouldn't really see my fiance, who's now my wife, but I wouldn't see her at all, really, because she'd be in bed when I'd get home from work, and then I'd spend probably 3 or 4 hours doom scrolling online. As I just fall into that routine, I found myself coming across religious content from a few different content creators that I actually enjoyed and sympathized with and agreed with. But I've never considered myself a Christian or a follower of God. I might have prayed, when something really bad happens, or I know someone that's dealing with something really badly. I have prayed in the past, but not really knowing why. Anyway, this content started coming my way, and I thought it was just the algorithm. I just assumed, oh yeah, it's just the algorithm. I'm watching a few of these things, so it's sending more my way. But I was just very surprised that all of it was stuff I agreed with, and all of it intrigued me and brought me closer into a desire to have a relationship with God. Now, going back to pre-2020, when the whole world shut down, I worked with this beautiful family of Christians, and I'd never met good representations of Christians in my life whatsoever. But this father, mother, and their 2 eldest children, their daughters, I worked with all 4 of them, and they were just the most beautiful people. They were just lovely, and they were kind, and they had no ulterior motives. They didn't push God or Christ on anyone. But if you ask them about it, they were very open about who they were and their faith. And I always found myself just trying to be respectful and not, swear around them, because that was, their faith. I wanted to be respectful of their beliefs, and they were just genuinely good people. So I wanted to respect them and the way they conducted themselves within their faith. So back to a month before coming to Jesus in 2023, I'm seeing all this content, and I'm thinking about a relationship with Christ. And I start thinking about the father, Justin, who I worked with, and thinking I should really reach out to him and let him know, like, what I'm feeling and how I'm feeling about a relationship with God. And for 3 or 4 weeks, this is going on. Every single night when I'm coming home from work, it's popping in my head. And then finally, it gets to the sad day just before the Sunday that I came to Jesus. And I'm driving to work, and these thoughts popped into my head about reaching out to Justin and about pursuing a relationship with Christ. And for the first time, something in my brain said, no, that's not you. You're not a Christian. You don't worship God. You don't go to church. Wake up to yourself. And I went, yeah, that seems pretty logical. Maybe I've just been in a funny headspace. Okay, sweet. Go to work. Same things pop in to my head while I'm working, filling some eggs. And I'm stocking up the shelves, filling these eggs. Same thoughts. I'm like, I should really reach out to Justin and, his family and see how they're going and, talk to them about this. And then my brain's like, no, what are you doing? Like, don't be silly. And then out of nowhere, an hour or so later, I'm just going about my job and I hear my name called behind me. I turn around and it's his two eldest children, his 2 daughters. And I'm like, this is so weird. I've been thinking about you guys just thinking in my head, I've been thinking about you guys constantly. And here you are just here. And then their mum, who's a lovely lady, appears next to them. And she's like, how are you? I'm just like blown away. And I felt it was too much of a coincidence. So I had to open up to them and say, look, I've been, feeling about a relationship with God, and I've been thinking about you guys, and you guys literally just came here, and it was all because they had ordered Chinese from the place they would usually order from. They mistakenly ordered it from the place that happened to be connected to the shopping center that I worked at, and they just happened to stop in, and I'm like, this is just too random. So I went, their eldest daughter invited me along with another mutual friend that we used to work with to church. So I went to church. It was a good experience. I found myself getting emotional during some of the worshiping, like during the worship portion of church. And then I went back to the family's house, to Justin's family's house, and had lunch with them and spoke of faith and, just had a really nice day. And then later on that evening, it was probably maybe 8 o'clock at night, so it was dark here in Australia. And I'm driving along the highway and I'm thinking about the events of the day and everything that's transpired, and the worship and the lunch, and just thinking about everything that's transpired throughout the day. And then all of a sudden, I felt God. I think I heard him first. Like he said to me that he wasn't lost, that I was. And he said to me that, I'll never forget this clear as day, but he said to me that all of the good things in your life, all of the good things that you were grateful for, all those things, he's like, I did all of that. That was all me. And then he touched me, and it was like if you're sitting in a chair and someone comes up behind you, and like if you're a child and you're sitting in a chair and your parent comes and wraps their arms around you, that's just what it felt like. like his arms just embracing me from behind while I was driving along. And that feeling, I wish I could describe it to you. It's the most beautiful feeling I've ever felt in my entire life. It was just pure love, like the most purest love I've ever felt in my life. And I just remember just weeping so much, uncontrollably, to the point where, like, it was hard to see driving along at night on the highway. The light, like, if you've ever had, like, tears in your eyes, like, a lot of tears in your eyes when you're, like, trying to drive at night, like, the lights from, like, the traffic lights and all that are just, it was a bit difficult, but, and then, I just remember walking, down my mother's driveway, because she lives in a complex that's got, like, a really long driveway with multiple units, and I'm walking down her driveway and just realizing, just processing that I just had an encounter with the Lord, and at just how beautiful that was, and how I can't ever be the same again. And the more I lent into a relationship with Christ, the more he's transformed my life, the more he's transformed the relationships within my life. Like, he put it on my heart very, very soon after coming to him to make my partner my wife. So I asked her to marry me. And I, like, that's just flourished. Like, ever since coming to Christ, I feel like my relationship with my wife has just improved so much more. And just everything. It's like he touches everything in your life when you accept him. My best friend, who's been my best friend for, like, I'm 37 now, I think, since we were, like, in our early 20s, like 21, 22. So, like, you know, like 13, 15 years, or more. And he was a staunch atheist. And when I told him, I found God, bro, he said to me, and he's my closest friend, my closest confidant in the world, he just said to me, "That's cool, bro. That's nice, bro." Because he was a staunch atheist. And then a few months later, because he's an epileptic, he had a seizure and had a fit at work and smashed his head open on our boss's desk. And then he had his own encounter with God there and then, while he was bleeding out on our boss's floor. And now he's come to Christ, and he's talking about getting baptized. I got baptized just before my wedding, and yeah, I just for those of you that made it to the end, thank you so much. I felt God putting it on my heart to share this, so I thought it was time. And I hope this helps someone out there with their walk with Christ. You know, you don't have to be perfect. Like, I still have a lot of issues I'm dealing with, a lot of things I'm working through. But the transformation I've seen when you accept Jesus, he transforms you from the inside out. And through him, anything is truly possible. It really is. So just try it. Just try Jesus. Tried everything else. Try Jesus. Because honestly, like, if I had known how good life could be, I would have searched out Christ a long time ago. Not in my mid-30s. So yeah. But I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you. I don't know if I will continue to upload content to this channel, faith-based or collection relating base. The collection's still here, and my wife's Demon Slayer collection, extra cabinet over there. But yeah, life has changed significantly with being married and coming to Christ. The collecting used to be an idol to me. It no longer is. I still will buy things from time to time, things I enjoy, but I'm not having 4 or 5 parcels every week show up to do multiple reviews and unboxings and making content. I'm just trying to live life with Jesus at the center, work hard. Yeah, okay, enough of my rambling. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.